Gillian, I wanted to start with you. At the end of last season, Mark, it's kind of teased that he's going to be going down a darker path. He's ready to kill anyone who comes after the ones he loves. I was curious if there's anything you can tease about, if there's anything you can tease about how Eve will handle this change in him.
Ooh, well, I think that Eve and the important people in his life are always grappling with Mark and have opinions on how he should be in the world and what kind of superhero he should be. So I think that Eve's going to have feelings, and she loves Mark.
True.
Is that an approved answer?
Hey, look, anything goes.
Really?
Oh, yeah, let's spoil everything.
Oh, okay.
We could save it.
Just relax.
Okay.
Just let it go.
Okay,
Who
so
cares?
in 402...
Yep. Keep going.
I don't remember.
That is accurate.
Honestly, me too. And I know Eve's been kind of conflicted in the past about being a superhero. So I'm curious, but by the end of season 3, she is kind of back into it. Do you feel like she's fully committed at this point?
Well, yes, and she's also had this unexpected thing happen in regards to her powers. So not only is she more in the mix of being a superhero, but she's also having to reckon with what happened. And
this is being handled so well.
Thank you so much.
Doing great.
And what is that going to mean for the future? What else does she not know about her powers? That's a good teaser.
That's good. That's good. That is very intriguing.
I'm intrigued.
Me too. And from the teaser, it seems like Mark has a bit of an inflated ego now. And he's kind of like, I just won 2 battles, and he thinks he's hot stuff. So I was curious, is that his mindset, would you say, where season 4 begins? Or does he feel responsible at all for all the death that was caused like he did for Chicago?
I mean, I think it's all of the above. I think he very much feels responsible for what happened. And I think that it's weighing on him to the point where he is able to kind of push to this point where he's like, I'm going to kill anyone that threatens my family. He just had to deal with everything with Angstrom Levy and Conquest. And for the most of season 2 and 3, he's been worried he's going to become more like his father. And now he's in a situation where things are pushing him to accept that he will need to become more like his father just to get by, which is putting him in a really dark position.
Definitely. And speaking of all those threats in the last 2 episodes or 3, I was curious if structurally, would you say it's similar in season 4 where it's threat after threat after threat? Or I'm curious how, there's a lot teased at the end of season 3.
Yes and no. I'm very proud of how dense Invincible is as a show. There's always something really cool happening. We don't wait for the finales to do cool stuff. We try to make sure that there's something to hang your hat on in every single episode. But structure-wise, we're going to try to make sure that every season is as different as possible from the other seasons, because we don't want anyone to ever go, okay, well, the next to last episode is always the big episode. And then the finale is always kind of a wrap-up. Like, we want them to never be able to expect what's going to be coming. So while we will have a dense show and there's going to be a lot of things happening, the way that they happen and the structure of the show is going to be different every season to keep everyone completely off balance.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Love that. And kind of speaking of threats, we know Thragg is coming, and I was curious, now we also know that Lee Pace is going to be in the role. So I was curious,
What?
Hold this!
And I was curious, what were the key qualities you were looking for in casting Thragg, and how does Lee check those boxes?
I think the most important thing with Thragg is to, in every aspect of his character, convey how powerful he is. And one thing that Lee absolutely excels at is using his calmness and exuding confidence to show just how powerful he is. And that's something that in his Thragg portrayal that he's really embraced. And it's so impressive. I can't wait for people to see it. But the second he is on screen and speaking, he's absolutely terrifying no matter what he's doing. And that's something that he brought to the role that really startled even me. I was just like, oh my God, this guy is really bringing it.
Yeah, definitely. And especially, I'm a fan of Foundation over here, and he definitely pulls that off in that show too. So that's very exciting. And I was curious how Thragg is different from the threats we've seen before.
This is an escalating show. So every season we try to increase the scope and increase the stakes and increase like what the villains are capable of and what they represent. And I think that Thragg is a big representation of that. He's kind of the next step beyond Conquest, the same way that Conquest was in some ways the step beyond Nolan from the first season. And yeah, I think that he's just an all-consuming threat. He's a bigger threat than Invincible has ever faced, to the point where it's not just Invincible. He's kind of bringing in everyone in the show, and things get really dire.
Definitely. And speaking of, I wanted to ask you, I remember reading in the past that you weren't reading ahead in the comics. No. Are you still not doing that?
I know. I like to stay in the present with the show. And then the incredible thing that happens is it takes so long between seasons that when the show comes out, I've forgotten everything. And I watch it genuinely as a fan. And it's an amazing experience. Those last 2 episodes of season 3, I've told you. I mean, they're so amazing. And of course, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that scene. But it's so fun to watch it. And, we don't record the whole episode together, and people's performances are so amazing on the show. So it's so fun to watch this show as just a fan.
And was there anything in season 4 that really shocked you when you're reading it on the page?
I mean, it's like Robert said, insane things happen in every episode. So I can't think of one that particularly shocked me, but I love the evolution that my character is on. That's also such a fun thing of like how much she's gone through from season 1 to here, how much she's changed, deepening dynamics. I also love like the emotional complexity of the dynamics between the characters on the show, that we balance the action with really great scenes of relationship. And so to have this evolving relationship between Invincible and Adam Eve is so fun to play. So
definitely. And I was curious about balancing those small moments, those intimate moments with even Mark, and how, like with these increasing threats, how you kind of go about balancing those.
Well, I think that's what makes the stakes matter, is portraying Eve and Mark as very human characters with very human goals. And as their lives have become more intertwined, as they've gotten into a real relationship, the events of season 4 are coming at a time when they're kind of at their closest. And that's really going to, make what happens in season 4 and the conflict that's kind of the center of it way more heightened, because you really feel for these characters and you want them to be happy and you want them to be together, and they aren't going to be.
Definitely.
What?
Spoiler, but
I'm listening.
We'll see.
Yeah. And I was curious, Gillian, what do you love most about Eve and Mark's dynamic?
I love that she, clearly loves him, but she also will tell him when he's being stupid. And I love that they're both going from being teenagers to like adults together. And I like when it's silly. I like when it's fun. I like when it's awkward. And that I like that she has potentially stronger powers than him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
Definitively,
I like that she has stronger powers.
Yeah, and in the teaser, she was like, he wasn't giving her the credit she deserved for that beating Conquest, which annoying.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask, how has the loss of Rex felt this season? We kind of saw the beginnings of Eve's grief.
Yeah.
And is there anything you can tease about how they grapple with that going forward?
I don't want to give anything away, but I'll say another thing that I love about this show is that when events happen in it, it continues to resonate with the characters, and it'll come back up. Maybe you think something's kind of been resolved, and then it'll rear back up even maybe a season later. And that's another thing that I think the audience responds to. I love and I love that as an actor, because everything is cumulative, like you said, like it all builds. And so everything that's happened to your characters, they're carrying with them. And so it makes all the dynamics more and more complex as they go along. And yeah, the grief for her of him as a person, what he meant about that time in her life, that like first love, but he was also a terrible boyfriend, but he was also such an endearing character. I mean, Mantzoukas, come on, how can you not love him even when he's being
the worst
jerk? You just still love him. You want the best for him. So yeah, you'll continue to see everybody grapple with that.
Definitely. And I did want to ask about, there's a tease at the end of season 3 about Dark Blood. I was curious, because we know this is a new storyline that wasn't in the comics. I was curious kind of what made you want to include that world, including hell and having Mark potentially go there. What kind of drew you to that storyline?
It was the most exciting for me because that's a storyline that I wanted to do in the comics, but never got around to. And so to be able to write something for the show that is completely new. Most of the time when I'm working on this show, I'm kind of revising what I've written before, and it can be dull. But it's a lot of fun because I like plussing things up and everything. But to actually have an episode where it's all new and I'm discovering a new story and I'm adding something to the Invincible mythos that hasn't existed prior in the comics was a real thrill for me. And that Dark Blood story, hopefully people are going to be really excited about it when it happens at some point in season 4.
Definitely. And I heard some people kind of theorizing that Mark might encounter Rex in hell, even though personally I was hoping he wouldn't be there. I think he's redeemed himself by then. Do we think he's redeemed himself enough?
What should I say? What should I say?
Say something.
Let me think. I know, right? It'd be
Talk.
really weird if I didn't say anything. Oh my God, you're making it worse.
Right now, say something
This
really
is Rex.
funny.
Rex is there.
Okay,
they
good.
hang out. They hang out in hell. They get coffee. Rex
Definitive.
isn't in that episode.
No.
Or is he? Who knows?
Or
We'll
is he?
see.
Or is he?
He could be.
He could be.
True.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, anything can happen in this show, for real. And I know you said in the past that you kind of change your answer every time about how many seasons you think will happen. I'm curious
Yeah,
with
it's 14 now.
yeah, with the addition of that storyline, I'm curious if your answer has changed again.
I'm keeping it vague, but I don't know. I think that the show, hopefully, if it remains successful and people continue to enjoy it, it will go exactly as many seasons as it needs to go to tell the full story. Whether that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 5. Maybe it ends in season 4. Who knows? It doesn't. We know season 5's been picked up, but
I forget what people know and people don't know.
Already recorded.
I know, but I
season
didn't
5.
remember if they knew that yet.
I don't either. We could
Okay.
get in trouble
Okay,
after this
cut
interview.
this.
It's fine.
Cut this.
But
I wasn't gonna say
you know,
anything about that.
we're going to tell a cool story and we're not going to wear out our welcome. Is my goal.
Definitely. But I honestly hope you do for as long as you can.
Me too.
And
Season 100 has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Come on, Simpsons, we're coming after you.
exactly. I hope so. And I was curious, there's kind of an overarching theme every season. And what would you say season 4's is?
I haven't thought about it yet. Don't have an answer for this. Hold on.
With great power.
Yeah, sure. I think it's, I don't know, like maybe, no, that's not a good one.
Now I want to know.
We're really putting Mark through his paces. I think this might be the most intense season yet. So maybe it's about overcoming the obstacles that are ahead of you, and it feels like that actually is fairly fitting. Like Mark has had so many things put before him that he has been able to navigate, but the problems are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is really a season where Mark is kind of put into a place where he's like, how is this going to keep happening?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to keep getting through this? And how do I get through this one? So it's really about like struggling to like navigate life and overcome the obstacles before us.
Definitely. And speaking of obstacles, I was curious, Conquest that sequence was such a huge sequence, such a long, enduring battle. So I was curious, is there anything kind of on that scale in season 4? I know you said you're kind of, switching it up again, but the stakes are being changed in a different way. But I was curious if there's anything kind of on that level, a 30-minute fight sequence or anything with that intensity.
I'm gonna answer with a simple yes.
Ooh.
Okay, good to know. And is it as gruesome as that?
Depends on how you look at it. Could be worse.
Wow, worse than mowing him through like a bunch of people.
I will say this, after you've watched season 4, maybe come back and watch this. There are 2 separate events, one that is significantly more gruesome than the Conquest fight, and one that is significantly bigger on scale.
Interesting.
Is that okay to say? Who knows? We'll
I think
see.
so.
No one
Okay
has
with me.
cut this
No
interview
one's-
off, so
Yeah,
I
no
guess
one's
it's
ever
okay.
seeing this footage.
And I was curious, Robert, has Gillian's performance changed how you view Eve's character at all? And did it happen in season 4? Kind of just.
I mean, it happened the first time she recorded the voice. I mean, every actor on the show, I'm going to compliment you, don't worry. Every actor on the show, it's one of the greatest things about adapting my own work is getting to, like, I live with these characters for over a decade. I write these books month in and month out. And then when it gets turned into a show and the actors come in, it's like they reintroduce me to my own characters. And I feel like I know Eve more. I feel like I understand Eve more. I feel like I write Eve better, having listened to how she portrays the character. And it's just great. And Eve is one of the most important characters in Invincible. And it's really great to be getting to season 4 and having the prominence of Adam Eve, like, in the show, continue to grow from season to season. And just being able to do that with Gillian is really great. And watching her, like, evolve the character as the character, you know, wraps her head around her powers, you know, becomes a more well-rounded human being as she learns and experiences more. It's just a real honor to be able to work with you.
Come on,
thank you so much.
You can't say something that nice.
I usually don't.
I know, you're gonna make me cry, Robert.
Stop. But no, I mean, it is so moving to be like, I know Adam Eve. I hope this person gets it right. And then you get in the booth and she's just like, you didn't know Adam Eve. This is who Adam Eve is. And it's like, oh my gosh, I like Adam Eve so much more. This is super cool. I'll stop soon. But no, it's great. It's like the highlight of my life to be able to have these actors embody these characters and transform them before my eyes.
Yeah, and Gillian, I was curious what it's been like evolving this character after so many seasons, and then going from 4 straight into 5.
Yeah.
What was that progression like for you?
Well, it was really fun to get to do those 2 seasons so closely together. Yeah, I mean, I think 2018 is when we started. I think I was cast in 2018.
Yeah.
So we've been living, you know, you've obviously been living with these characters for longer than we have. But for me, yeah, this is turning into one of my longest running jobs ever. And yeah, she went from being a high school student to now a young adult. And I love it. I mean, I'm so grateful that the writing is so great and that the direction that we get during the recording sessions is so excellent. And I feel like they help me. I feel like for me, technically, I've learned so much about voice acting over the course of working on this show. I watched season 1 and I was like, oh God, I could be so much better than this. So it's just taught me so much about what's required of a voice performance specifically. And so I'm hoping that I'm getting better as the show goes on. But I feel like, yeah, I've grown as an actor through doing this show.
Definitely. And was there any scene in season 4 that might have been your most difficult one yet?
I mean, we have emotional scenes in this show, like,
oh, yeah,
beyond like the fighting and the, you know, and all the, we have like challenging acting scenes, and there's something about the environment that they create in making this show that it always feels like it happens so naturally, where it's like I might read it before I get to the recording and be like, oh God, oh, I have to do that, oh. But then it always just kind of seems to happen when we get into the booth. So, but yeah, this is a fun challenge as an actor to do this show, because so much happens to these characters and the show takes it seriously. And that's it. Then we're wrapping up.
Oh, are we wrapping up?
We got to wrap up.
So I have more to say.
Okay.
I think that...
Thank you. That was so great.
Okay.
I don't know
if I wrapped the interview, but I felt, did the room wrap the interview? Is it time?
All we know for sure right now is that Gillian wants to leave.
I'm out.
She is ready for this.
That's all I got. No, 2 more. Wrap it up.
I guess I can finish on. I'll just ask you one more.
Do not edit any of this out, or I will never speak to TV Guide again. I'm kidding. I have no integrity. Go ahead.
I was curious, what can comic readers be surprised by beyond the dark blood stuff?
Is the dark blood stuff enough of a tease? I mean, there's a lot of neat there's a lot of extra stuff this season that I think people will be taken off guard by. I think that We do adapt things fairly closely. If you are a comic book fan, you probably have a pretty good idea of some of the things we're going to get to this season, and hopefully you're as excited as I am. But yeah, I think there's some twists and turns that are definitely going to take people off guard, and there's some big changes. Oh, good Lord, I can't say that. I'm sorry.
That's a good tease. There
are some big changes that I think are really going to surprise people.
In
a good way.
In a good way, they'll be happy. You'll be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll be like, I enjoy this show. I want to watch more.
Okay, good. That is amazing.
Is that where we're ending it?
I think so.
No, one more.
I'm so
All we know now is that Gillian does not want to leave.
Wrap it up.
I guess I could ask you about, this isn't Invincible related.
Okay.
I'm curious if there's an update on the Community movie.
Golly.
I'm sure you're asked a million
we should have
times.
wrapped it up.
I don't know.
That's not a definitive answer.
That's the truth, though. I don't know.
All good.
Yeah.
That's not what you were telling me before we came in here.
Robert!
So I'll tell you. So anyway, Dan Harmon.
Here's breaking news. Robert is directing the Community movie. So if you're
so many
upset,
people got so much less excited for the Community movie.
If you're upset about the Community movie not happening, please write to Robert. He is the one who's holding it up.
Listen, prep is taking a while, but I'm not going to do it until it's perfect.
Yes.
I don't care how many pressures are on me. But,
any and all questions, direct to Robert.
Yeah.
That would be a really dark Community movie, probably.
Community got dark, too.
True.
We had a gas leak here. Things... Ken became a dictator and took over the school and imprisoned the dean. I mean, a lot of things happened on that show, too.
Very true. Very true.
It's true.